Today's video was about why Durianrider is wrong about Lance Armstrong. Lance Armstrong is the greatest cyclist of all times. Everybody is doping. Everybody has been a doper. So the fact that Lance just excelled far above, trained harder than the rest of the riders out there, does not make him a cheat and does not lessen the significance of his victories. Durianrider would smash Chris Froome. He would smash Bradley Wiggins, Geraint Thomas, Simon Yates, all the GT contenders. He'd smash them all. Today, he's got the fastest time out Duez. His VO2 max is greater than Chris Froome's. I mean, and this is the thing that gets me. Even Durianrider in his own video says, look at Lance. Look at him crossing the finish line like in the TT when he caught Jan Ulrich from behind and passed him in a 20-minute TT. You look at it, Durian even says in that video, he says, look, Lance ain't even fatigued. Same thing he said about Geraint Thomas when he crossed the finish line about Duez in this past year's Tour de France, saying he didn't show enough fatigue, that he could have went faster than Lance Armstrong. Well, then why didn't he? Oh, because he waited for Nibali. He didn't. It wasn't because he waited for Nibali. It was because those boys ain't as fast as Lance. Lance was the greatest and still is the greatest. 7 years of pure dominance. 7 Tour de France victories. 7, count them. Ripped up his title. All because some haters out there. The hate is going to be heavy, but the love overpowers it. Yeah, Durian, so you're wrong, man. Lance is the greatest of all time. I know you've been a fan of Lance in the past. However, you have made a bunch of videos to smash him, saying that Chris Froome or Geraint Thomas would smash Lance. And you got to think, too, that the innovations in the drugs that these new riders are taking have far exceeded the science that was out back when Lance was doping. So, I mean, he's got the fastest time out Duez. The fastest time. The man putting out 7 watts per kilo after 5 hours of racing. The man was so determined. The eye of the tiger doesn't even begin to describe the mentality that this man possessed when he got on his bike each and every day. 6 hours a day out there on his bike, busting his tail, so that he might obtain those victories that he won, just to be stripped of them. I mean, it's insane to think that anybody who doesn't even, like for instance, Geraint Thomas got his first Tour de France victory. Chris Froome has got a couple wins. How can these people even compare to the man, the greatest of all time, the boss of the Paggio, the Scarface of the Peloton, Lance Armstrong? None of them can compare. So Durianrider, you might not agree with me, but you're still wrong, mate. You're still wrong. AKA Tri-Shaker Tops, we know who you are. We done uncovered the mystery. There ain't no unsolved mysteries around here. So shout out to Durianrider. Yeah, man, Tri-Shaker Tops, we know it's you. It's all good, though, because you're wrong about Lance. Lance is the best that ever did it. You can argue with me. You can disagree with me, but you're still going to be wrong. And that's just the simple fact of the matter. I mean, all you got to do is go back and look at the record books. That's all you got to do. And we're talking about, I mean, I was just watching some old classic Lance footage. The man was a force of nature, a force to be reckoned with on the bike. I mean, he was spinning when nobody else was spinning. I mean, he would spin them boys right about a job right now. Imagine Lance on Team Sky. Wow. He'd show them boys a thing or two. Don't get me wrong. I don't dislike Chris Froome or Geraint Thomas at all. I think they're great guys, swell guys. appreciate what they do, what they're doing for the sport. It's excellent. It really is. However, I feel that when we're talking about greats, when we're talking about the greatest of all time, I think only one man holds that position, and that's going to be Lance Armstrong, the Scarface of the Peloton. All right, y'all, that's my little thoughts. It's not a hate video. Just little comments and criticisms. You know, the greatest of all times, Lance Armstrong. Y'all take care.